Hello, and welcome to I'll Knit With You. My name is Rebecca. You can find me on Ravelry, Instagram, or Steam as EvilTwin2. You can find show notes on the blog at owlknitwithyou.blogspot.com. You can join our Ravelry group if you search for I'll Knit With You, or you can email me at owlknitwithyou@gmail.com. Hi y'all, how are all my owls and my yous? Welcome to all returning viewers, and hello to all new viewers. You know that feeling when it's like Saturday morning and you just don't want to get out of bed or do anything? That's how I felt like every weekend, you guys. Oh, it's so bad. I've been exhausted, but also crafting quietly. And then I feel like I don't have anything to show because it's just me, and sometimes I don't get very much done. But hi, hello, how are you? I feel like every podcast starts with me making an excuse for why I haven't podcasted. But really, I just don't make enough stuff to talk about anymore because I don't have any time to knit. But I have been watching TV and knitting, and I'm excited to tell you all about it. So, shall we? We shall. I have been watching True Blood, Lost. I've been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Supernatural. I've been watching Handmaid's Tale. Oh, my landlords are home. You can hear them banging around upstairs. Handmaid's Tale and Dairy Girls. I've been watching... Oh, I watched All the Good Place. I've watched a lot of really old TV because it's nice to watch something that's finished, but then I've also been watching really new, good, funny stuff. Dairy Girls and The Good Place are way up there. I've been seeing a lot about The Good Place, and I kind of understood the concept, but I had no idea what it was about, and it was so much better than I thought. So if you've been on the fence about that one, please go watch it. Dairy Girls is set in Londonderry, Ireland, and it is hilarious. You obviously don't have to be Irish to get it. It's just funny TV. So 2 thumbs up to that. It's like 6 episodes a season, 2 seasons, I think, and they're each like 20-minute long episodes. They're just really funny and good. I didn't succeed in my owl or my newt for the Harry Potter Knit and Crochet House Cup. And I'm taking a term off from the Harry Potter Knit and Crochet House Cup mostly because I haven't even logged into Ravelry in like a month and a half, and I changed my password and it took me like 20 minutes today to figure out what it was so I could check some stuff for my show notes. I used to be able to do it at work because I'd be like in between stuff and I could read stuff while things were processing or whatever, and now that is not the case. And when I get home, I don't really want to get in front of a computer, so it's hard to be participating in things when I don't even want to log into the device that I have to participate with, if that makes sense. And I really want to make a lot of sweaters and big things right now, and so then I feel like if I'm in the Harry Potter Knit and Crochet House Cup, it limits that. And everyone's like, oh, but all you have to do is 1 class a month, and that's true, but I'm competitive, and then I feel like a failure when I don't finish those things, and also, I can't finish a sweater in a month most of the time, so then it makes me put unreasonable goals on myself and really stresses me out. And so I just need a little bit of a break. I don't know if I'll be back in the beginning of the next year because this is fall, so this will go September, October, November, and then December's off. So I don't know if I'll be back in January or not. It'll just depend how I feel. I've previously been to Pearl Soho in New York on a vacation trip here. And it happens to be the closest yarn store to where I work. I can get there on a lunch break and back if I have to. But I had a really bad experience the first time I went to Pearl Soho. It was awful. It was really bad. And so I've been really hesitant to go back since I got back to New York. And I was working on a project, which you'll see in a minute, and I really needed a specific size needle, and I needed a specific size cord for a set of needles, and they didn't even carry that brand, but I was just like, I don't even care, I'll buy fixed circular at this point, which is drastic for me because I am an interchangeable needles person. And I gave him another shot, and the person who helped me was so flippin' nice, you guys. It was like night and day difference. It really changed my opinion on the whole store. She was so kind, and she took so much time to help me figure out what I needed and what I wanted. And so if you have previously heard me give 2 thumbs down to Pearl Soho, I now flip those thumbs right back up. So I must have just been there on like a wrong day. It was not a good day for me to be at Pearl Soho. But this time, perfect day. And that's what it's about. I did go to SSK 2019. I'm wearing the shirt and everything. How could you tell? I don't even know. I'll talk about that at the end of the podcast. I realize sometimes there is some serious FOMO things or financial things where you can't go to the events you want to go to. Or you didn't hear about it in time so you couldn't get in. It happens. or you really wanted to go and you put your name in for the lottery and you didn't get picked. That's heartbreaking. So if you don't want to hear about it, you don't have to watch the end of my show. It's all going to be there. But I do have so many cool things to tell you guys about, and I'm going to work probably more blather into all of my woes and defeated foes and blobbins and everything else. But, so let's move forward a little bit. Let's move this along. Spinning, you guys. Let's talk about this. Okay, so I have an electric eel wheel 5.1, I think. I don't know. There was a couple of different versions of the 5. That's the current version. And they do different things. They have different arms mostly. And I really do like my electric eel wheel. But it is not a quiet electric wheel at all. And while I was at SSK, I think they're pronounced Dayless. Dayless wheels were there. And they're gorgeous and they're 3D printed and they're extremely quiet. Like, that's their whole thing, is that they're whisper quiet. Today, my spinning wheel was so loud I had to put on headphones because it was too much. And so this is becoming an issue. I'm not sure. I may have found a really good solution today. So we're not really out of blather. It was all a trick. We're not in blobbins. We're still in blather. Tricked you guys. Ha ha ha. Pulled one over on you. Okay. This is how I get. I've had 3 cups of coffee today and I still have another half a cup of coffee and it is like 8 o'clock at night. So we are gonna, because I said I'd clean my house on this Labor Day weekend and I have not. So this day is just getting started. All right, so in my old apartment when I lived in Illinois, I had 2 TVs. I had the living room TV and I had a bedroom TV. And it was nice because sometimes I'm a person who likes to fall asleep with a movie on. But of course I also want to sit on my couch that I paid for, or when I have company over and put on some good shows. It's a thing. I don't really like to lay in bed and just watch TV. I like to have TVs throughout my house. So when I moved, I didn't know what my living situation would be. And I gave one of my TV to my brother and one TV to my parents. And so I don't have any TVs. When I moved into my apartment, the guy who was living here before me sold me a lot of stuff, like my bed and my dresser and one of my TVs. And so he also sold me a Roku, which I haven't been using because I'm an Apple TV girl. It's just how I am. So I keep saying the word so, and I apologize if it's driving you crazy. It is also driving me crazy, but I cannot stop doing it. I will try to limit myself. So recently, I got a real bug in my head. That's not the saying, but it is appropriate. I got a need for TV in my living room. No, oh my gosh. I got a need for TV in my bedroom. I've been watching stuff on my iPad and it's just really frustrating because I have to lay on one side and it kind of hurts my neck and there's no good spot to put it where I can actually see it if I want to play a game on my phone, for instance. And it just wasn't great. So I started getting ads on Instagram because Instagram can read your mind about projectors. And so I ended up buying a very cheap $65 projector. There was a discount coupon on Amazon for 20 bucks off. So it was like 80 something and then it was 60 something. I will put a link in my show notes because I do like it. They don't always have great reviews, but mine is wonderful. So I bought a cheap projector for my bedroom. And so now one whole wall is a TV, which is like being in a drive-in movie theater in my bed. Sometimes it's too close. It just depends on the motion. But it's a lot of fun. So you can't just plug your phone into a projector, because if you do a lot of apps like Netflix and those kind of like paid video apps, there's a police person. Oh, they're done. Okay. See, it's like this all the time here. Only when I'm talking. I'm just gonna wait till it's done. Only when I podcast. No, that's not true. Okay, so you can't plug your phone into a projector because paid TV apps like Netflix and Hulu and those things, if you do buy an adapter to plug that into a TV, it usually just sends out black because it doesn't want you recording the videos or the TV or whatever. So you have to own something like a Fire Stick or a Roku or an Apple TV, some sort of device that does all the TV stuff. And so, back to the beginning of the story, the previous tenant had sold me a Roku. but he didn't leave me the power cord, so I never used it. And so I found a power cord on Amazon because I realized it was cheaper than buying all the adapters that for my phone that wouldn't even work. Do your research. It's very useful. I made and canceled like 5 orders that day because I was like, I'm going to have to get a USB extender. I'm going to have to like make sure my phone is always charged, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I have the Roku and I have the projector. It's great. But did you know that on the box Rokus, not the stick, there's a stick Roku and the box Roku. On the box ones, the remote has a headphone jack and you can plug your headphones in to the remote and then the sound doesn't come out of your TV, it comes out of your headphones. Innovative as heck, right? Okay, so my spinning wheel is too loud. And today, while I was spinning in my living room, I had the epiphany I could just move the Roku in here because then I can use my headphones, which I will never use in my bedroom because I don't turn my TV/projector up that loud because I'm the only person in there and I don't like it that loud anyway. I like it soft. So I may be moving my Apple TV to my bedroom and my Roku to the living room so that when I spin in my living room, I can wear headphones and be able to hear everything that's happening in my show while still spinning on my loud squeaky wheel and save me the money that I would have spent on a Daedalus, which is considerably more expensive. They're like 3 times as expensive as I think I paid for the electric eel wheel. And my electric eel wheel, there's no mechanical issues with it, so it seems ridiculous to replace something that works just fine, just to have it quieter. Now, in the future, I may buy this luxury item, but I am not buying it this year, I don't think. Please hold me to that. I don't need a spinning wheel. Okay, so, that being said, I just figured out the whole headphone thing today. Because I just got the whole projector Roku set up this weekend, because I had ordered it this past week. And so, I've been spinning a lot today, and have been spinning on and off since the last time I talked to you guys. So, here we are now in vlogs, now that you've heard my entire life story. Not even close. Okay, so, you know that I've been spinning this from Hip Strings. It was a club where they did least blended, more blended, more blended, more blended. Okay, I have 2 skeins finished. I have 1 washed skein. It is very, I don't know, it feels very denim-y to me. It's these grays, and there's not a lot of color pops. I mean, I know the colors are in there, but unless you're really looking for them, I mean, and occasionally you can see them, but you don't see them very often, and this is just a 2-ply. Now, on this one, I did the 2, I think there were 5 parts? Yes, that's the word I'll use. 5 parts to this blending story. And the last 2 I was going to separate after I spun them, but I couldn't tell them apart at all. And so I figured, well then great, I've got a really long nice earring. So there's that. This is the 3rd part. I haven't taken it off the nitty-nutty? You know the word. I don't know the word right now. Because I need to label both of these, and I know which one is which right now, but if I take this off, I will forget which is which. This is kind of my life right now. It's like everything's getting 75% done, and nothing's getting 100% done. But, you know, sometimes it's just okay. So, in this one, I can definitely see strands of more color. I know the lighting is not great. I'm really sorry. I was going to record earlier, but I don't have a good excuse. I just didn't do it. I was really into spinning. I got really into it, and then I just didn't do anything all day long except for that. Because I figured out the headphone thing. It was amazing. So, there's like bits of white, there's bits of blue, but they're not very big yet. And this has been really fascinating because it's also showing me that the more I split my fibers, the same kind of thing happens. And when I was at SSK, this is not fun stuff, this is factual stuff. So if you have FOMO, this is not going to hurt your feelings. I sat next to someone, this could be anywhere, who split her fiber and I did not. And so I was getting longer color repeats and she was getting really muddly looking color because she was splitting her fiber, which is sometimes something you do for like a fractal spin or whatever. But it really kind of like, oh yeah, I had a lot of oh yeah moments. So that was very much an oh yeah moment for me. So this one I even feel like I see more blues and this one just feels much more gray. So there they are next to each other in what little light, you know, you can see. Light. So yeah, this one hasn't been washed and this one has. It did fluff up a lot. And I think I have been steaming my skeins because I'm a treater pumpkin eater. And I think I'm going to go back to washing everything oddly enough, now that I live by myself, I can just let things dry in the shower, like on a rack for however long, and then take them out of the shower when I need to use it, you know. So it's been handy to wash knitted things. It's like, oh wow, no one's gonna be needing to use this but me. So I'm okay with it. It's weird. It's nice. I haven't lived alone in a while, you guys. And it's been an adventure. And I do get lonely because it was really great having my previous roommate. She was amazing. But it is also nice to just literally leave all of my crafting things, I'm looking at all of them, all over my house, like a chaotic crafting store where nothing is labeled or priced or in any sort of order. So, you know, that's fun. Okay, so back to the point. So I'm excited to see what comes next, but I needed a break because this is not the most thrilling color sequence I've ever seen. It comes out very gray. I just didn't want to spin it for a while. And so, bend out of frame here. I know how much everyone loves when people do that. I decided I wanted to spin a Halloween spin, and Atomic Fiber Company has the most beautiful Halloween bats. But you know what I need? More fiber. Nope, just kidding, I definitely don't. So I decided that I was going to make my own little fiber Halloween fun time with some blacks and some purples and some greens and maybe some orange if I was feeling crazy. But I don't have any black fiber. Oh wait, I do, but it's in other dye things. And so what I did is I grabbed this loop bat that I bought at Vogue Knitting Live in New York in February? In the early beginnings of 2019. And it has black, but it also has blues and reds. And these were not the colors I wanted for my Halloween bat, although that red looks Halloween-y from this distance. But I did want the black, so what I'm doing is I am spinning the red and the blue now, and then when I'm done, I got fiber in my mouth, hold on. When I'm done, I will spin my Halloween spin, hopefully. Who knows, because I'm kind of all over the place, you guys. But it's fine, because it's like, I don't have the Harry Potter Knit and Crochet House Cup to rein me in, so now I can just make anything my heart desires, and it can take as long as it needs to take. And I honestly have been in the Harry Potter Knit and Crochet House Cup since I became a capital K knitter, because before that, I didn't even, like, now this is nothing, that's nothing wrong, but all my yarn came from craft stores, like Joann's and Michael's and Hobby Lobby, because you buy from what stores you have near you, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that at all, but I got into the House Cup and I started seeing other things and hearing about stuff and learning about patterns, and it wasn't just me buying books anymore and trying to knit a few patterns out of them. It was buying patterns on Ravelry, buying fiber from shops from people who were in the House Cup, and so that's what got me into like spinning my own yarn and buying from indie dyers. And so I didn't do that before the House Cup, and I've had these reins on me from the House Cup, like you can only knit a sweater if you do it for an owl or whatever. And I love that, but now I've gotten to the point where I just want to make really big projects. I just don't want to make small stuff anymore. And so I need a break to figure out what I'm doing and if I can if I can survive in this knitting world without these rules. So I'm kind of going crazy with it, and I want to do this crazy spin. So I'm not going to show you the actual spinning because it's sitting over there and, you know, it's all set up on my little table and everything. But it's got, and you can't really see anything because it's spinning, so like it's just the top layer anyway. It's got these blues and this red, but that's not really enough to make beautiful yarn. So what I'm doing is I'm going to do a 3-ply with the blue and the red, and then I have this Gale's Art that I think, try to ignore the black, will go really well with the blue and the red because it also has some red in it. And then, because I can't ever leave well enough alone, once I finish this Gale's Art on the first bobbin I'm doing, I'm going to see how I feel about adding in this fiber. Now, I may not do it because honestly, I bought this fiber really early on in my spinning career at a local to me fiber festival, and it's just real compacted. I don't know that I can draft it. It's just real stuck together. It's kind of like ripping it apart. I did do some pre-drafting, and I'm just going to see how I feel about it, but it may just be too much work. It wasn't very expensive. So, and it just looks matted, like it's a shame because I'm working with Loop and Gale's Art, which are both like super easy to draft, like beautiful, like they're both very fluffy still. And then this fiber that I bought, which is beautifully dyed, like these are colors I love, but also I can't draft it. And I need to be able to do that. But it may just be because I'm a little over caffeinated today, so I am giving it a chance. It's in the next pile, but I don't know that I'm gonna need it. I feel like this is gonna be, these two will be enough. And I'll see. I'll see where that goes. So then I'm gonna make myself my own little fiber mix with some Halloween colored yarns, for Halloween colored fibers. So yeah, that's how just my spinning is going. This is gonna be a little bit of a long episode, I think. Yeah. Let's get to some woes and some woes. Okay, so woe. My northeasterly is coming along, you guys. I am now a whole 3 stripes in, and I started it last Advent Christmas season, so that's just flying off the needles. No, but honestly, it's so nice to go to when I want to go to it. And it is a little chaotic right now. Not all of my color choices are making a ton of sense, but it is what I want it to be. So that part makes me happy, if that makes any sense. This part should have been a different yarn though. This yarn was a little too big. But that's some pretty early hand spun right there. And I just needed it to be gone, and so now it is gone. I am trying to do a thing where I match the color that's gonna sit next to. So like this doesn't make a lot of sense next to that, but it makes sense next to this, and so that's fun. And then I really want to see, I don't know how many grams it takes to do a whole row right now, but I'd really like to do one whole row of one self-striping yarn, if I can. So that could be every 4th row, like a leap year. Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun. Okay, anyway, so now I have a plan. But that would also just be, I would not be able to change yarns the entire time. So I don't know. Is it worth it? So it is pretty long. I don't know how long it is, but it's makes me happy. I bought some little tiny balls of self-striping yarn from Phoenix Fiber Co. Pretty sure that's who it is. If not, the show notes will be correct. And they are in here. Let's see, where are they hiding? So this is one, and this is one, and this is one. You can tell I bought it in the 2nd row because that's when I've started using them a lot. And they're really fun because I use about half of them before I switch most of the time, so that means I can do that section of self-striping again. And self-striping is so much fun in the northeasterly by Skinanigans because it just like the rows are happening for you. It's just majestic. And it doesn't feel like it knits up super fast, even though there's like not that many stitches in a row, but it makes me happy. It makes me happy. Okay, so next we have another blanket. Now, we've been talking some this year about my temperature blanket cowl. And I was gonna, because it's pick your own blanket and then make it, or pick your own item. You can even do clothes. People are doing clothes. Pick your item and then make it track your temperatures. And I really want to do it this year because it's my first year living in this city. And how fun would that be to have like such a keepsake where like this is the first year I lived here and this is my keepsake from that year. It is the temperatures of the year. So I've been working on mine a lot recently. And I kind of devised a system to help me keep moving forward, which is good because I was kind of stuck. So this is January across the bottom. I don't have half of it done, but it's huge. So I'm just gonna knit, I'll show you my system and then it'll make sense what I'm doing. So right now, the way I'm working is, I was doing it at a triangle on every month all the way down. And then you can kind of see how it is here, where it's like, obviously that's where that was. All the way down. And then that way, like, I'm still doing every month. I'm still doing new colors. I'm still keep going. But I can kind of see, like, okay, is this wide enough for me? Is this long enough for me? Because I don't know that I'm going to need to do all the days in every month. It may be too big and too heavy. So, I've got January, February, March, April, May, June, and July on my blanket. And I need to catch up as far as length goes. And what I realized I could do is I can knit my down arrows and attach them as I knit my up arrows. So as you can see, the down arrow is on the outside right now, but the up arrow has to be picked up from this piece, the way I do it anyway. And so then I can attach two pieces at once so I can knit my down arrows on the train, basically is what I'm saying. I feel like I'm saying half my thoughts because I've thought about this a lot in my head, and so it's hard to tell you about it. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out how to add length while still being able to work on it while I'm not home. So I'm trying to figure out ways to make triangles ahead of time without having to do a lot of seaming, because seaming is not so much what I'm here for, which is a big reason why I stopped doing the beekeeper's version, because the seaming would take me forever and ever and ever and ever, and it wasn't going to be big enough. And so this I feel like is already getting sizable. I already put it across my feet when I'm working on the part, which is nice. I do have to weave in some ends and close some holes. You can see like this has got a hole here. This is not a hole. So anywhere two arrows meet, the points meet, there's usually a hole, which is fine because I can just seam it up with the leftover strands. But I am making a lot more progress than I had done. So far, it's beautiful. It's a very odd shape right now, but it's getting there. It's gonna keep going. This has kind of derailed me from a lot of other things, but I have still been working on stuff. So the next woe I have is the Ripple Bralette, and I didn't put who it was by, but I will in the show notes. And I'm using Undead yarn in the Jaws colorway, and this is what I had to go get needles for. So this is a great project. I'm having a lot of fun with it, but it doesn't have a very large circumference, and the only cord I had left was massive, and this needs something really small. So I had to go pick up something. I had to lose a stitch marker. And so I did, and it made me happy. So, the end. Go buy things from Pearl Soho if you come in town. And also say hi to me, please. So, the Ripple Bralette, I saw someone try it on at the event, which will be named later. And it looked so small, and then anyone tried it on, and it looked amazing. It stretched and fit anyone. And I don't necessarily have what magazines would define as a crop top body, but it's not going to stop me from enjoying myself, and I do enjoy sitting around my house in a crop top, so that's what I'm going to do. It looks really tiny because it does stretch quite a bit, I promise. It's all ribbing, and so all it does is stretch, which is kind of the point. And sorry, there's yarn caught. So I've got the body done, and I've got this pointy triangle part to finish and a strap. And this is really good train riding work, because it's really pretty, honestly. People ask me a lot of questions about it, and that's kind of fun. But also, it doesn't get very big. It's only one skein so far, and I don't think I'll need two skeins at all. But it does stretch quite a bit, so don't worry, you guys. It'll be all right. And I'm really enjoying both the yarn and the pattern. It's just different than what I thought I'd make for myself, and I like it. I'm looking forward to sitting around in my house with the air conditioner off in my knitted crop top and some cute little shorts, eating cinnamon rolls and drinking coffee, I guess. That sounds like a plan, you guys. I'll see you there. Okay, so I do have one more woe. And it is, sorry, my notes are over here because I can't just memorize things, guys. This is the Westbourne by Isabel Kramer in the Shibui Knits Lunar Deep Water colorway. And guess who's not just working on the top part anymore? So there's so many yarns hanging out of this. Here's the top. Okay. And then look, we've got sleeves, guys. We've got sleeves and our first row of color work. This is where all my short cables are hiding, but I didn't feel like messing with it, honestly. So color work row, sleeves row. I haven't been working on this very much, but I did make progress since last time I talked to you guys, so I wanted to show you. All my effort's been going towards my blankets, and I don't know why. Blankets and a Ripple Bralette, so. I have several skeins in this bag, and they're all being used for different parts of the body. So, I'm not really sure where I'm at, that way wise, but it still smells good. It's still very soft, and I'm still looking forward to finishing it. I just don't know when that will happen. But I have finished some things, so let's talk about some defeated foes, you guys. So, Do you ever buy really interesting yarn and then think, well, I don't want that interesting yarn to just hide away in my shoe. I want to find a cool way to do something with that. Do you ever have sweaty water bottles? Because I do. So what did I do? I turned that fascinating yarn into a really weird looking sock that I put on my water bottle. So this is the Some Kind of Magic yarn. I'll put a link in the show notes. And it is that yarn that came out a while back where it makes its own leopard spots. And it is really cool and really fun to knit with. The instructions are super helpful on helping you gauge so that it pulls correctly. But it also makes really good water bottle holder because it's very woolly. And so I don't like when I have drippy water bottles, like, you know, condensation, not like sprung a leak, in my purse, because then I feel like all the stuff in there is at risk of getting damaged. And so I made this, and it fits on my very tall water bottle, or sometimes I fold part of it over and use it for Starbucks cups or whatever. And so it's just this scratchy little half sock that I will never wear as a sock. The wool is not very soft, but it is really fun. So it all works out. I wanted to say it's Wool in the Gang. Maybe. Could be. Who knows? But I really enjoyed it. I actually have a second one going, maybe finished, because I wanted more of like a sleeve that could go on a cup but not cover the bottom. So you may be seeing more of these. But it was something I wanted to work on at the event that must not be named until later. And I did. I finished it while I was there. So that was really fun. Last for defeated foes, but not least, I did a magpie. Look at my little magpie crop top. It is supposed to be boxy, so it looks really big right now, because it's supposed to, and it's also inside out, so hold on. Let me fix that for you. I know, because I can see all the woven in ends. Okay, so here it is. Yay, magpie! This is also by Skinanigans. Magpie Tendencies. I use US 9s and 10.5. And this is Freya Hand Paints. This is yarn that I bought at Vogue Knitting Live. I'm actually going through some of that stash, and it's kind of fun because it's not old stash, it's not terribly new stash, but it is good stash. So, it is a gradient, so it goes to gray, which is like my favorite color. I still have quite a bit of the cake left. It looks really flat, but it was like a big fluffy cake. And so I don't know what I'll do with that. It would make a great hat. But this was really fun to wear, and I really enjoyed it. So, in order to tell you more about this, I have to move on to the SSK portion. So if you aren't here for that, I totally understand, and I will see you guys later. If you're ready for that, then let's talk about it. So I found out that Skinanigans was going to be there at the SSK Marketplace, and I got pretty excited because I secretly fangirl over her. Or not so secretly, since I'm getting like half my things from her stuff. And so I had already been wanting to make one of these, and I got a real like bee in my bonnet about it. And I did it, you guys. So I started this just before SSK, like maybe a week or two, not super long. It does knit up super fast because you're on 9s and 10s, and it's supposed to be fingering weight, but I think mine is more of a worsted, to be honest. And it's very boxy, which is nice and cute. And when I wear it, it actually does have a little bit of shape to it because I am a little shapely. And sorry, there's like all sorts of fiber in the air from all this fiber I've got out. Oh, I've tried out to sneeze. Okay, sorry. I did take a picture of us wearing our magpies together, and I don't know, it's a lot of fun. I did get it done before the Try It On room on Friday night. Yes. They moved the tasting room to Thursdays and the Try It On room to Fridays. And so I did get it done for the Try It On room, so I got tickets for that. And it was just a lot of fun to make. I honestly thought it was great. And then some of my friends from SSK also decided to knit it. So that was even more fun because then we were all like knitting our little magpies together, which I love doing knit-alongs, so it was pretty great. SSK this year was probably my favorite SSK I've ever been to for a lot of reasons. And I'm gonna have to keep looking down at my notes, so I'm sorry if that's driving you crazy. So first off, I walk in the door. No. Before I even walk in the door, this is my first year staying with friends I've known from previous years. Because we stayed in touch and we decided to room together, so which is awesome. So a few of us got an Airbnb together. Not like all of us, because that would have been a lot. Especially at a really stressful event. And plus some of them are local, so it didn't really work out. And some of them have friends that they don't hang out. Friends outside of our group that they want to hang out with at SSK. So, anyway, one of my friends came and picked me up from the airport, which was amazing because I've never had to fly in before, so I was already really stressed out about it. So then to know that someone was like, I got you, was super awesome. And so she picked me up, and I think we just went straight there. And I got my bag and immediately won $50 for the marketplace. So boom, I already know this is going to be a great year. As if there's ever a bad year at SSK. There's not. I packed my suitcase half full with giveaway yarn because I did that massive like stash clean, and I had so much stuff. I didn't even pack it all because it wouldn't fit, and because some of it I'm on the fence about still. I think I still want to knit with it. And so that was really fun because the first night I was like, hey, who wants this? And some of the people in my SSK group had already kind of like called dibs on some of my yarn. So I get there, I've already gotten new yarn because I swapped with some of them. I've gotten a giveaway yarn, which it feels great, and I'm seeing people that I haven't got to see and making new friends, like right off the bat. It was really fun. So, I did the twist class with Maggie Casey, and it really gave me a new perspective on how I use tension, which sounds ridiculous because I know what tension is, I know how it works, but she had us do a lot of sampling of the same fiber with different, like, what if you change this factor, what if you change that factor? And I think my main factor is my tensioning. I over tension by a lot because I want the spinning wheel to do the work for me of pulling the yarn out of my hands, which doesn't always work out for me. I get a lot of like drifting apart. And so thinking about the tension in a way that I've never thought about it before kind of put it in perspective of, maybe I'm overusing this a little bit. What happens if I use it less? I get a fluffier yarn and it looks much more beautiful and it's much more the consistency that I want. And so, yeah, sometimes just like going back to basics is such a mind blower. Crazy. And then I also got to I also got to take a class with Laura, who's one of the two SSK ladies, the knit girls. And she taught a lot about different breeds and what you should think about. And I've taken classes similar to that before, but never with the same information, I guess is what I should say. And it really put me in a mode going into the marketplace to search for specific type of breeds, specific type of constructions of yarn. And I felt like I was being really, really thoughtful about everything I picked out. I did kind of fail a couple of times, but we'll get there. Okay, so that class was amazing and also made me think a lot about twist, which is what I learned in Maggie Case's class. So it seemed like everything this year was like blending together. I went to a breakout with Jill from Hip Strings, who taught about sweaters and the fiber content of sweaters and mixing and matching your yarns in your sweaters and what you should know and hey, it's okay to do this part if you do that part kind of thing. It's really fascinating. So all of that knowledge together made me want to be like, yeah, I'm gonna make stuff. I'm gonna pick out smart things. I'm gonna go into the marketplace and buy very specific things. And I feel like for the most part I did, but I'd also gotten a lot of free yarn. And so then it's just a yarn that you just end up with, but it's also amazing and colorful and bright and shiny. And so I made some very wise purchases and some all over the map purchases. Like I knew I wanted to get some yarn from Fiber Circus. That might be her podcast name. Spotted Circus Fibers. Definitely in the show notes. And I grabbed some, and I really wanted to get a specific breed mixed with alpaca, and I did. And I thought I grabbed 3 bags of that, but I grabbed 1 bag of that and 2 bags of something else. So I talked to Jill from Hip Strings because she kind of hangs out with my group a little bit. She hangs out with a lot of different people, but she does occasionally sit with us. And she was like, well, why, when you're spinning, why don't you hold those 2 together and spin them together? And I was like, mind blown, of course, because then it would all match up. Duh. Because if you just do a ply of each one, what's going to happen is one of those plies may grow or shrink. That will affect the whole yarn. But if you spin it in the single together, then it won't. And it's like such a duh thing. But having someone who knows so much about fiber, like say it to my face, made it better than just knowing it. So that's kind of how I feel about all of SSK. Like I know some of these things in theory, but having someone say it to my face is like, of course, why didn't I ever think of that? So, sorry, that's my singing, so, yes, so, sorry, there's lots of things that happen. The sweater that I made from the Hip Strings yarn last year, where I did do 2 strands of one strand of the other, I brought for the try-it-on room and with the intention of sending it home with someone else. I've given away about a sweater every year, mostly because I love to make sweaters, but I don't always like to wear what I've made. It doesn't fit me correctly, or it's not what I want, or it just doesn't turn out right. Like, just sometimes things don't work the way you think they're gonna work, and I don't like having things that I keep just because I feel like I have to keep them. That's ridiculous. Someone else is gonna love this. I'll get rid of it. It's cool. And the person who ended up going home with my sweater that I made from Hipstrings fiber completely was Jill from Hipstrings. That was awesome. She was like, I can have this? And I was like, yeah, you can have it. I don't. It just was really itchy on my skin. And I don't know what it was, but I did not love that sweater. I loved making it. Spinning it was amazing. Knitting it was amazing. Putting it on, not my thing. And I did that thing that when you raise your arms, half the sweater goes up, at least on me, and like I can't handle that at all. I think they're on a trampoline upstairs. Can you hear them? I hope not. Anyway, so she was like, I have to pay you for this. And I was like, no, you don't have to pay me for this. She's like, I've got some yarn that was mis-skeined. There's too many yards in the skein because the person thought it was this many grams and it's supposed to be that many grams. So each skein is too many yards. And I was like, well, if you want to get rid of it, you know. And so she brought me 4 beautiful skeins of yarn, which I'm hoping to very soon knit into a sweater. They're gorgeous. They're not all the same, so it's gonna be kind of like, I'm thinking like a chunky gradient kind of, not quite a fade, but fade-ish. I'll just keep saying it until it makes sense in my head. And I haven't started it. I thought I had the pattern picked out, but I feel like the right pattern isn't out yet, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like there's a lot of really good patterns, or maybe I just haven't seen the right pattern yet, but I haven't found the one that's I'm like, yes, that's the one. I found some pretty close ones, but sorry. I need to do more research. So that was amazing. I got beautiful yarn from Spotted Circus Fibers. I got another sweater quantity-ish of stuff from Hipstrings, which I just love their stuff. It's yellows and grays and blacks, and it makes me think of a taxi cab, but it also kind of makes me think of scrambled eggs in a cast iron pan. I am both amused and interested to see how it spins up. And then I think I'm going to get a contrasting color of black from their store, I don't know why I said it that way, for the cuffs and the neckband and the bottom band. Because it was really nice to have that on my other sweater last year, where I could buy like the softest, most luxurious kind fiber to wear on those areas, because it was just like, yes, this is nice, I like this. And that way I'm not knitting with black a lot, but like just enough. And if I get really crazy, depending on how much yarn that fiber makes, because it may make a ton. It may not. I could maybe do stripes, like a bumblebee, but like a bumblebee that's got like mottly yellowish color stripes. I don't know. I'm working on learning how to spin finer. So this 3-spin I'm doing with the crazy colors so I can just get rid of other colors to spin another thing. It made sense. I'm doing that like frog hair fine. I'm seeing how fine I can spin now that I have all this information about how I use twist. And so I'm hoping to do a 3-ply of that and measure it and see about what I get to see if I can even get 2 fingering weight on a 3-ply. And then I'll move forward. And I don't really want to keep doing 2-plies. I've seen a lot of stuff recently about what a 2-ply looks like when you knit it, when you do this with it, when you do that with it, cables, lace, whatever. And except for lace, which I would not do on a sweater really, 3-ply just looks like the yarn I want to have. So that's what I'm going towards. I'm so sorry, you're scratching my nerves. So yeah, I bought a lot of other, oh my goodness, you guys. I bought a lot of other yarn, and I bought some yarn with the intention to buy more yarn later to make a sweater out of it. I have another sock arms possibly happening, but I'm not ready to talk about any of it yet, and I've been trying to do a thing where I don't show you as much like bulk mustache, but I show you how it looks when I've knitted up that yarn, because I feel like I was saying, look what I bought, look what I bought, look what I bought, and not so much like, look what I've made, look what it looks like, here's how it works up. I didn't like this yarn, I like this yarn, and I can't really evaluate that for you unless I've already used it. And so we will see what happens, guys. So So while I was in Nashville for SSK, I did stay an extra day to spend some time with my family, so it was nice to see them. And we ate good food and ran around and just mostly hung out with each other. Like, it didn't really matter what we did, we just wanted to see each other because I hadn't got to see them for a couple months, and I won't get to see them again until November. So July to November is the longest time I've definitely ever gone without seeing my family because I've always lived so close to them. So we're like pretty much halfway through that now. No, we're not, but I'm gonna pretend like we are because it's the very, very beginning of November when I'm gonna see them. So if August is done, then I get through half of September, and then it'll be one more month, which is October, and then I'll see them in the beginning of November. So it'll be good. I can do this. It's harder than I thought it would be, but you know, that's just how it is. Ooh, and then the last night at SSK, sorry I'm jumping around a little bit now, I did win 2 yarns. They're both self-striping, so that's a heck yeah. One was Turtle Pearl, and one was Rock and String Creations. And so, of course, I want to say thank you to both companies for contributing those gifts, as well as everyone else who contributed a door prize. Like, if you're watching this and you contributed a door prize, first of all, hi, thanks for watching. But for two, like, the amount of door prizes they had this year was kind of insane, and was really motivating to, like, try and finish my magpie so I could put in tickets for that. I really didn't participate very much at all in the pre-SSK knit-alongs, and I really wish I would have. And this was the second year in a row that I really wished I would have, because by the end of it, everyone's already like won the prizes. Like, or everyone's already like had the same amount of time as you to earn more tickets. And earning tickets one at SSK is pretty easy because you can turn in sweaters for the try-on, or you can do this, you can do that, or the other thing. Like, I feel like if you try, you can make it happen. But earning tickets beforehand, not as many people do, and so if you have those tickets, I feel like those are the door prizes that are harder to get. The yarns that I got were completely beautiful, and that's not what I'm saying, and I'm not trying to be greedy, but also it's really nice to win things. So, I'm going to try harder next year, if I get in, that is. Fingers crossed. And so yeah, I'm so sorry, my nose is thoroughly itchy. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna go attempt to clean my house, I guess, now. Since, you know, it's the end of Monday on Labor Day. And I was gonna set up my planner and show that to you guys, but I didn't do that yet. I have the Harry Potter thing for September. I bought all the stickers and some washi tape ahead of time, and I'm really excited to set it up, but I haven't. And I'm also thinking that every week needs to be a different house, like, as far as my pin color goes. So, like, Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff. We'll see. It'll be fun. So I have a lot of things going on, and I'm kind of unfocused, if you hadn't noticed. So whether you are a rambling knitter or you've got a direct route knitter, or crafter, you can be crafting, whatever. I'll craft with you. Bye, guys.